Welcome to the show, and of course it's time to get you all of the top stocks to watch. The queues are a little thin this morning because we don't have Wall Street action, but lots of individual names that are going to be on our radar. So our team is standing by with the CNBC TV 18 list of top stocks to watch. Guys, good morning to all of you. Abhishek, let's start with you. It's going to be all eyes on the Bajaj twins as the Bajaj Housing Finance IPO rolls out. Tell us the latest details here.
Well, the focus will be on Bajaj Finance because its subsidiary, that is Bajaj Housing Finance, has set the IPO price about a bandwidth of 66 to 70 per share, which means that the implied market cap is close to about 55,000 crore to 58,300 crore. So valuation, if you take a look, price to book value based on Q1 FY25 estimate, and for Bajaj Housing Finance, I've also added the QIP proceeds along with the equity dilution of about 6% from the IPO that they are coming out with. Bajaj Housing Finance is valued at 3.2 times when compared to LIC HF at 1.8 times, PNB Housing at 1.6 times, Canfin Homes at 2.6 times, and Aptus value at 4.2 times. So if you take a look, another peer comparison metric that I've taken is net interest margin. So Bajaj Housing Finance had a net interest margin of 3.9% when compared to LIC HF at 2.8, PNB Housing at 3.7, and Canfin at 3.6%. So key ratios, if you take a look, gross NPA, net NPA ratio, Bajaj Housing Finance has the lowest gross NPA ratio and net NPA ratio in the financial services sector in the listed space. Back to you.
All right. Thanks very much for that. So that's something which will continue to generate a fair amount of interest over the next couple of days, all the way to the IPO opening. Well, HAL and Kaynes Technology is also in focus. Upasana is here with details on both. Upasana, morning.
Good morning. First up, let me start with HAL. Cabinet Committee on Security has approved procurement of aero engines from HAL, and this contract is valued over 26,000 crores. The deliveries will commence 1 year from now and is expected to be completed over next 8 years. Next up is Kaynes Technology. Union Cabinet has approved proposal of Kaynes Semicon Private Limited to set up a semiconductor unit in Sanand, Gujarat. And this decision has been taken with the objective of developing a vibrant semiconductor ecosystem. The proposed unit will be set up with an investment of 3,300 crores, and the capacity of this unit will be 60 lakh chip per day. Hence, I expect both these stocks to open in green today.
Okay, we're going with green on both those two names. Thanks, Upasana, for that. Well, I'm going with one green and one red. Let's talk about the green one first. Vedanta. They yesterday went ahead and declared a dividend of 20 rupees per share. This is the third dividend that they're declaring, and this estimate was at the upper end or a little above what some analysts were estimating. So good news coming from there. The total payout will be 7,800 crores, and because the promoter entity has 56% stake in the company, they'll get roughly around 4,400 crores. Keep in mind that, we're only halfway through the year, but they've declared 15 rupees earlier, coupled with this 20 rupees odd. So 35 rupees on a stock that was worth a little less than 300 rupees at the start of this fiscal. So the shareholders will be quite happy with regard to that. So that's about Vedanta, expecting it to move in the green. But not just that, Vedanta Resources, that's been the problem pocket. The parent out there, they are making steps in the right direction because they announced yesterday that they're looking to buy back bonds worth around $1.5 billion odd. These bonds were demanding, interest cost of around 13.87%. So they're likely to be refinanced. Promoter entity in a better space is obviously good news. The only problem is what's going on in China. But otherwise, expect the stock to open up in the green. Moving to NMDC, they declared their numbers for the last month and it was disappointing. A whole host of factors have played out. Demand has been relatively weak. It's been, the monsoon season, and pricing as well has been quite weak. So put all this together, expect the stock to open up in the red.
Okay, all right. So we'll watch out for both NMDC and Vedanta. Thanks for that, Nigel. Abhishek, back to you. Tell us, Medi Assist on your radar and Muthoot Finance as well.
Well, sources say that there will be a block deal in Medi Assist today. So one of the promoter group will sell part of their stake in trade today. So the seller is Bessemer India. Deal size is about 541 crore rupees. Remaining holding will be locked in for 11 and a half months from today. So that is up till 18th of July 2025. Floor price has been set at 570 per share, which is at a discount of 7.7% to yesterday's closing price. The sole BRLM to this block is IIFL Securities. Muthoot Finance, Belstar MFI has got the nod for IPO. So they will, raise about 1,000 crore via fresh issue and 300 crores via offer for sale. Now, as of Q1 FY25, Belstar's AUM is at 9,952 crores. Asset quality had deteriorated, so gross NPA ratio inched up to 2.36% versus 1.82% quarter-on-quarter, and they are well capitalized at 21%. Just to alert our viewers, Muthoot Finance holds about 66% stake in Belstar MFI. Back to you.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that. So keep an eye out on Muthoot as well today as markets open. More stocks with news flow. Vamakshi is here with details. Vamakshi, morning.
Well, good morning, Prashant. Let me first start off with Brigade Enterprises. The company has launched a QIP yesterday, that is on September 2nd, and they've approved a floor price of 1,164.7 per share, which is coming at a nearly 6% discount to the closing price yesterday. Now, sources suggest that the issue size of this QIP is expected to be around 1,500 crores. This would comprise nearly 5.64% of the total equity. The indicative price, however, is at 1,150, which is at a discount of 7.3% to the closing price yesterday and 1.3% to the SEBI floor price. The funds will be utilized as per sources in the repayment or prepayment of certain outstanding borrowings, partly funding cost of land acquisition as well as some investments that they could make in JVAs and JDAs. In fact, the lockup period for this is 60 days on the company and 90 days for the promoter. So given this development, expect the stock to open higher today. The next stock that I'm watching out for is Matrimony. The stock is expected to open higher. I'm going with the green for this counter because a board meeting is scheduled on September 5th to consider a buyback proposal. And lastly, let's also watch out for Gensol Engineering, going with the green for this counter as well, and that is because the company and Matrix Gas and Renewables Consortium has emerged as the lowest bidder for EPC of India's first biomass to green hydrogen project valued at 164 crores.
All right, Vamakshi, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's do a quick recap of all the top stocks that we just covered. We're looking at Bajaj Finance, HAL, Keynes, Vedanta, Mediassist, Muthoot, Brigade Enterprises, Matrimony and Gensol. All of them will be reacting to positive news flow, while NNBC, that's a lone ranger in the red.